Welcome, Daily Crew, Crispy Crew, Voyage Crew, Drew here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the pre-production sample for testing and review only. Final product may have design or performance adjustments. WUBEN X4. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you have not done so already, please hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, like it. If you don't like it, dislike it. Either way, leave us a comment how we can improve, what you would like to see on the channel, so on and so forth. Today we're going to be taking a look, and it is truly an unboxing. As you can tell that the little tabs here have not even been opened. This is live on Kickstarter right now. We are going to be doing an unboxing and a brief overview and tutorial on the WUBEN X4. So this is the black variant. They will have multiple color options if I'm not mistaken. And we are going to go ahead and unbox and dive into this bad boy right now. And we're going to try to work around the tripod as best as we can. So we get a little bit of foam up here, nicely packaged. We'll go ahead and get the accessories and whatnot out first. So we get a USB to USB-C charging cable. So that's nice. And then we get the flashlight in all of its glory. And I'm sure that the packaging will be a little bit different and the box will not be as big as it is right now. But this is the X4. My gosh, this thing is a chunker. That is for sure. So reminiscent to previous WUBEN lights that we have tested, the X2R. This is the X4, so we get a nice, looks like LED, different colors, possibly light up top. There is our USB-C charging port right there, and then we get a magnet and a pretty stout pocket clip. So there's the light. Let's see if there's anything else in the box right quick. Nope, the box is empty. No instruction manual in the box itself, so we are going to get this charged up. I'm going to take a look at the user manual that WUBEN has emailed over to us as a product sampler, and we will get right into it. We have some similar features, it looks like the X2, so we will flip that and then push, and we will go ahead and take that out. So this is a 3400 milliamp 18650 3.7 volt button top battery that is WUBEN branded. So this is why it is so heavy. And I say so heavy, I mean it's an 18650 light, but it is more rectangular. So that's pretty sweet, and it's very compact. Just as a comparison, since I have it out and about, this is also an 18650 light. They weigh about the same. This one is obviously shorter and rectangular, whereas this is more of a traditional flashlight. But this is definitely going to have a lot more features than this one. So let's go ahead and get it charged up and we'll walk through it together. Okay, so we are almost fully charged. I just could not wait any longer to go through all the features and show off this awesome flashlight. After I got it all charged up, I went through the manual and made sure I was comfortable telling everyone how to work this flashlight, and I have to say this thing is awesome. Yes, it is pretty hefty, but beyond that, if you can get past the weight, which is, I'll leave it somewhere up here with the battery in there. Definitely an awesome flashlight, very versatile, and I like some of the new features compared to the X2R for sure. So we will start in lock mode. It does nothing in lock mode. So if you are in lock mode and your flashlight's not working, assuming that you have taken out the little plastic piece that insulates or covers the battery from the terminals and everything, then check to make sure you are not in lock mode. So we will start actually in the foremost position, the top position, which is moonlight. So we're going to press this side switch right here, and we also have the rotary dial. And in that moonlight mode, all you get is, well, moonlight. So I can rotate the dial all I want to. It's not going to do anything. This is strictly moonlight mode. Pretty self-explanatory. Now we are going to talk about the forward-facing light. So general usage here, we're going to press once and that will turn the light on. And then if we rotate clockwise, we will turn all the way up. So we are all the way in the brightest setting, and it will remember, it does have memory mode for how bright you want the light. And there is no option for the actual low, medium, and high on this light as of the production sample. It is just stepless dimming. So we're going to rotate counterclockwise and we will get a flash when we are in the lowest setting, which is right there. And then if we rotate clockwise, we will go all the way up, and then we'll also get a flash. Now for the full turbo mode, which is a max of 1500 lumens, we're going to double tap this side switch, and that will get us into turbo mode. So we are on, and double tap for turbo, or we are already in turbo, obviously. So if we wanted to go down lower and then double tap, that will get us to that full brightness right there. So that is it for the forward facing light. Next mode we're going to talk about is the front facing or the side facing light. This has two options, and it is similar to the X2R and the G5 and other similar lights from WUBEN that does have this side light. So we're going to press once and we are in the white light mode. And in that white light mode, it's just like the front facing one. We're going to rotate clockwise to get a brighter light. And this is obviously a more ambient light with a much wider spill. And then we will go all the way down. And I'll actually turn my overhead light off so that you can see that. So we are all the way down, and then we'll step up all the way bright there. Now that we are back on, we are going to press and hold to switch to RGB mode. And from here, we just have a solid light there, and we can rotate the dial clockwise or counterclockwise and go through our different colors in the RGB. So this includes red, orange, yellow, green, cayenne, which we were just in, blue, and purple, and then back to red. So we'll keep it red just because it is a different color, obviously, than the table and the overhead light. And from there, we can double click and turn the beacon mode on. So if you wanted a different color, you would obviously rotate the dial, and we can even do green for these purposes because that's a even higher contrast. So we're going to double tap this side switch, and that turns on beacon mode. So there's beacon mode, and it literally just flashes whatever color you select. You cannot cycle through the colors, so you do need to make sure that you pick your color first. So we will go back to red and double tap, and then we are in beacon mode. And then we can cut the light back off, back on. We can go to green if we want it green, double tap, and there is beacon mode. Last but not least, in the RGB mode, we also have a flash similar to the X2R, and that will get us either red and blue, red and green, or red and yellow. And in order to cycle through those different colorways, we're going to double tap. So double tap, and we are in red and green for all you Christmas lovers, and then red and yellow. So that is it for the side light. And then to turn it off, just tap once. That is almost the entire feature set of the X4, but really what sets this light apart is actually this tail switch right here. Yes, this is a tail switch. It is a very tactile and audible click tail switch, and it can be used either in the side facing or the forward facing light modes. So we're actually in the side light mode, as you can see there, and one click will get us momentary turbo. So this turns it into just a fun little EDC gadget flashlight that you would normally carry in general into a tactical flashlight. So we're just going to click once and hold, and we get that turbo, and then release, no turbo. So similar to some WML lights in the switch, in my opinion. So you get that audible click, and you get momentary turbo. Momentary turbo with one click. Strobe warning, if you double tap, we get instant strobe. And then the strobe will actually stay on as well. And then click once to turn that off. So whereas the other lights, the X2, so on and so forth, we don't get that with that. We do get a tactical tail switch on the X2, but it is quote unquote aftermarket, and you have to remove the tail cap and then slide it on, and it's more of a push button style, whereas this is all within the light itself, and it will work in the forward facing or the side facing. So if your primary use for this light is the RGB or even the side light, we want to switch back over and turn that up, which this does have memory mode as well. You know, just for an ambient light, you know, you can set it on its side for some ambiance, and then we need the tactical light for whatever reason. Boom, it's right there. So that is really what sets this light apart from a lot of other rectangular flashlights, in my opinion, and even WUBEN's previous offerings. And that is just an awesome feature, in my opinion. One thing to note is if you do throw this in a pocket, you do get only one way to put that in your pocket, and granted, this much of the light will be showing, which is about 3/4 of an inch, in my opinion. I don't have a ruler next to me, but 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch will be sticking up out of your pocket, but that gives you something to grab onto if you do need the light. So that is pretty nice. I would like to see some different clips for the WUBENs coming out, or even just drill and tap down here and have it be more of a discrete pocket carry rather than having this much of the light, you know, visible in your pocket. But other than that, I really like this flashlight. We will take it outside and show off some of the features outside in the dark once it gets dark outside, and then we'll come back in and I will do a couple quick size comparisons. All right, so it decided to rain all day, and we are outside with the WUBEN X4. We are going to start out in the lock mode and then work our way up. So we are at the lock mode, and we will start out with the side light here. So there's our side white light, and we can obviously ramp that up and down. So there it is, all the way down, and then all the way up. So there's the side light. Moving on up, we have our forward-facing light. The building on the left-hand side of the screen is about 50 feet away. The fire pit is about 10 to 15 feet away, and then obviously the trees back there. So here we are, all the way in the brightest setting here in the backyard, and then we will ramp down. We can kind of still see the fire pit there and the building, pretty wide spill, and then we are all the way dim. And obviously what you see on camera is not the best, but I can definitely still see the building and everything, and from there you can see the building, and that's almost as dim as the light will get. So there we are, full brightness on the front facing light. Here is the strobe function by way of the tail switch. So we're going to tap twice, and there is your strobe. Next up we have the RGB light. So we're going to start green, just kind of work our way through the different colors. So there's red, purple, blue, aqua, back to green. So there is the RGB. Okay, we are back inside with the X4. And again, just to note, this is a pre-production sample, so there may be some very, very slight changes to the final design once the Kickstarter is over. But as of the posting of this video, they are fully funded and they are running on Kickstarter. So you do get a discount if you back the Kickstarter compared to when they actually hit the WUBEN and Amazon sites, so on and so forth. We will leave a link to the Kickstarter pinned in the comments as well as the description box. But without further ado, we will do some quick size comparisons. So first up, we have the Workhorse HD01. Obviously a little bit fatter, just a hair, and then a little bit shorter. And next up, we have the Streamlight Wedge. Obviously a lot fatter and a lot shorter than the Wedge. Next up, we have the Workhorse TD07, about the same size overall, but that is obviously a cylindrical object versus a rectangular object, just like the Warrior Nano from Olight. And then we also have the Cloud Defensive MCH, and this is the EDC head and the compact variant of the light. So there are just a handful of size comparisons, and we will actually move all of these out of the way and directly compare it to the X2 Pro. I think I misspoke earlier and said X2R. It's hard to keep up with all of the makes and models and all of that good stuff. But basically what they've done is, instead of the rotating head or swivel head of the side light here, they have put it here. So you don't have to worry about that swivel object anymore. And then they have made the dial bigger, and the button is a separate function compared to the X2 Pro. So you get dial and button all in one, whereas you have button and then kind of hidden in there you have the larger dial. The pocket clips, I believe, are the exact same. If they're not the exact same, they're pretty dang near close. They both do get the magnetic base to them, but again, on the X2R, you will have to lift the battery cap and slide that push button for the tail cap. So this is already included, and this one is an 18650, whereas this one is, I believe, a 14500s. So you're going to get a lot more lumens and a lot more runtime with the X4 compared to the X2. Otherwise, they are dang near identical. So there's that. And this one has just that flap for the USB-C recharging, which I honestly prefer on the X4, having it built in, and you just move the slider there. That is a lot more intuitive in my opinion. Obviously the X4 is just a tad bit heavier than the X2, but it is also thinner and about the same length. This is just about as small as you can get with an 18650 in my opinion, outside of a cylindrical flashlight, obviously. But I do like the rectangular look. It definitely looks a lot more sleek, and you can still hold it like a traditional flashlight due to these cutouts here. And yeah, so overall, I really like the flashlight. I am definitely going to be carrying this a lot. You do get that magnetic base, so if you have anything metal, Not that you can see this because it's not on camera, but this is my light tripod, which is metal. You know, if you need to do any kind of work hands-free, having that magnetic base definitely does help. And for the size, the money, the features, I don't think you're gonna get much better from WUBEN. I am definitely interested to see what else they come up with, and they're just constantly innovating. I mean, we got those two. I've already reviewed the G5 and a couple other WUBEN flashlights. They do have, you know, your stereotypical, you know, tactical flashlights and EDC flashlights that are cylindrical, but I'm digging the rectangular uses as well. If you have not done so already, please hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all of you watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comments down below. Let us know what you would like us to check out next. And with all of that being said, y'all have an awesome day.